Hello, and in this guide we'll be talking about the dashboard. So the dashboard is essentially the main backend admin area of your site. When you log in, this is where you'll be taken to by default, and this is also where you can do a lot of the content management side of things as well. So a key area, and this guide will help to explain what links are, what they do, and allows you to easier navigate your way around the dashboard. So please note that we'll give a brief overview of the links. They will be covered in more detail in different guides. But at the top here on the left, you have one called posts. Essentially, posts are the blog articles of your website if you have those. So if you go to all posts, that will give you a general overview of the various articles that have been published or in draft, and it will allow you to content management those side of things. If you want to write a new one, you can go to add new, follow the instructions to publish your new blog article. You can also change the categories as well. So categories are the topics that your blog article covers. So you can choose to edit, add or delete categories as you wish. And you'd be able to do the same thing with tags as well. So tags essentially are the keyword or key phrases that your blog article covers. Again, if you click tags, you'll be able to add, edit or delete any of your tag. If you go to media and then go to library, this will allow you to view a collection of uploaded content. Typically these are things like PDFs, images or Word documents. So if you click library, you'd be able to see all of those. If you want to add a new one, then click add new, and this will allow you to upload from your computer to add to the media library. So if you're adding a new image, click add new to upload it into the media library, which will then allow you to add it on things like web pages or blog articles. And speaking of pages, the third link relates to the web pages of your site. So it's very similar to blog articles. If you go to all pages, this will give you a general overview of the web pages, again published or in draft, which allows you to easily content management your web pages. If you want to write a new one, then click the relevant add new and then follow the steps to create your new page. The next two links are comments and projects, but you will never need to touch those, so you can simply ignore those. But if you come to Ninja Forms are essentially the various forms that you find on your website. So a very common one would be your contact us form on your contact page. So if you click dashboard, that will take you to the Ninja Forms equivalent of the dashboard. Essentially, again, a general overview of the various Ninja Forms on your site. And if you want to add a new one, then click the add new link. That will allow you to craft your new Ninja Form. Scenario where you may want to do this is if you have a webinar and you would like people to fill out a form to view it, then this is where you can go to do it. And another helpful thing you may want to do is check the submission details of various different forms. Typically what happens is whenever someone fills out a form, whoever's email is attached to that form will get an email notification, but you can check through the backend if you go to submissions as well, and then you just simply pick whichever form you want to check the submissions for, if there are any. And finally, you have a link called settings. So for the most part, you will not need to touch settings. The only probable reason is if you want to integrate your Ninja Form with third-party tools such as MailChimp or ActiveCampaign. Those require you to input your account's specific API key in order to do the integration with. But for the most part, if you're not looking to do that, then you can ignore clicking on settings. If you go to appearance, this will allow you to customize the menu structure of your website. And what I mean by that is on the front end of your website, at the top, you will have a series of different links that people click on. So for example, you may have like an About Us link, service link, contact us link. And sometimes if you hover over those, a drop down list will appear relating to the individual subpages of those links. If you click menus, this will allow you to edit those. So for instance, if you want to reorder the list to make it a bit more alphabetical, or if you want to promote a particular service. If you want to remove any services that are no longer applicable, or if you want to add newly created pages, then you can choose menus to customize that. Profile relates to your account settings, so you can edit those. I believe you can also change the color of the dashboard if you want to. For the most part, you can probably ignore those and keep the settings as default. And speaking of settings, again, you won't need to touch this. If you do have the Google Reviews Business add-on, then you can click this to edit that. And then you will have a link for Divi. So Divi is the visual builder tool used to create the web pages. Again, you won't need to click on this. In fact, if you do, we don't have the relevant access anyways, so we'll go back. And finally, you have a link called collapse menu at the bottom. So if this left sidebar is in the way or is taking up too much space, then you can click that to make it smaller, but you'd still be able to click the various different links as well. If you want to restore this, then you can simply click the arrow and you can bring it back again. So you also notice that there are various different links at the top as well. So you have a black navigation bar at the top. If we start with knowledge base, if you click that, that will open up into our online help guides as well. So this is what they look like. These have been written up by ourselves and they have been helpfully categorized in the individual topics. So for instance, you have blogging and then you have the various guides that relate to blogging. Conversely, you have creating a page and the various guides that relate to that particular topic as well. So these have been written by us and they will always be there for your reference. Should you need it, you can always access those if you click knowledge base at the top of your screen going here. I did mention at one point something about the front end as well. So if you want to get to the front end from the back end, in the top left you will see a house icon and next to it, it will display your company name. In this case, it'll be Practice Web. If you click Visit Site, this will take you to the front end, which is typically what your visitors, customers, clients will see. It's basically the web pages with their content. If you click Visit Page, it will always take you to the home page as a default. But then you'd be able to navigate your way around the rest of the site again by going to the main menu links, which are these. You'll notice that there are a couple of different options that appear when you're on the front end. So for instance, you have a plus new icon here, and this will allow you to pick specific content types that you want to create a new one for. So again, you have posts, which are your blog articles, media, if you want to upload various images, for instance, and page, if you want to create a new web page. Project is listed, but again, you can ignore that. The reason why it's here is just easier convenience. If you're on the front end, it means you don't have to go back to the back end in order to write a new blog article. You can just go straight to the top and pick post. As I said, easier convenience, that is. You also have an edit page option here as well. So if you click that, this will take you to the back end for that page. As we're on the home page, if you click that, it will take you to the back end for the home page. So this will allow you to customize things like the page title, the parent item as well. You can ignore delete cache. You will need to use that. But, and very significantly, you will see an option called Enable Visual Builder. Now, we mentioned earlier when we were going through the backend, there was a link for Divi. This essentially is the Visual Builder tool. When you click this, it will allow you to edit the content on a web page. So again, because we're on the home page, if we click that, we'd be able to edit the home page. But this is the button you will use to do your page edits. It will only appear on the front end, and if you go to any page, you'll be able to customize the content if you click this button here. Again, that will be covered in a dedicated guide. And conversely, if you do want to get back to the backend, all you need to do is go to the top left and just click Dashboard. So that will quickly take you back to the backend, and again, vice versa if you want to go to the front end. Finally, if you do want to log out, at the top left, sorry, top right, it will say hi and then your username, and then you simply click log out. And that will take you to the login screen as before, but if you want to get back to the website, then at the bottom it will say back to your website name. In this case, again, back to Practice Web. And there we go, back to the home page, this time without being logged in. So that was a very brief overview of the dashboard. We went through some of the various links. Again, they will be discussed in more detail in their respective guides. We trust this helps you give a brief overview of how to use the dashboard. And we thank you for listening as well. Please get in touch with us if you have further questions. Thank you very much.